Good afternoon, everyone. God bless you on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. I'm excited to be talking to you about rules to relationships. If you would just come on and tag someone in the comment section and share this with your friends and followers, I would greatly appreciate it. I have a lot to say, and I believe it's going to be a blessing to your life, to your marriage, to your potential marriage, to those of you who are single and looking to engage with a potential partner, and hopefully with the hopes of getting married. These are going to help you. Again, share this with your friends and followers. Tag someone in the comment section. I'll give it a few moments because I know the algorithm takes a little bit of time to notify everyone that I'm live and I'm online. But I think this is going to be good for those who are in relationships and want to learn more. God bless you, Tiffany. Glad you're on here. Good to see you. Glad that you're on here. Glad that you're on here. Praise the name of God. Glad that you're on here. Good to see you. Got to get my head right. Praise the name of God. All right. All right. Greetings, Naomi. Naomi, God bless you. Glad you're on here. Good afternoon, Norris. Good afternoon, Naomi. Good afternoon, Marcia. Good afternoon to you. God bless all of you. Go ahead again, tag someone in the comment section, share this with your friends and followers. We're going to be talking about rules to relationships. I put up a post earlier about some things that I believe that are important for married couples to know. One of the things I said was that marriage will expose the demon that you were hiding in your dating period. And a lot of people resonated with that statement because it's true. Many people hide who they really are when you're dating them. It is not until you're married to them that the demon they was hiding actually come out. It's not until you're married to them that the trauma they was trying to cover up begins to come out. And what we need to do within our Christian communities is that we need to teach people how to discern the demon behind the date. We need to discern the demon hiding in the date. And we need to make sure that we're preparing people who are looking to get married for a lifelong journey. And we need to equip and help those who are already married on how to deal with the hellion in the next room, how to deal with the demon they land next to. And these are real issues that people are dealing with that we rarely talk about. But I want to talk about it today, and I want to hit some points that I believe is going to help you overcome the struggle in this single society. I've been told a lot of times that there is a what would they say? There's a urine in the pool water or the dating pool, and so that's what a lot of people are telling me. There's urine in the dating pool. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I haven't been dating in over 17 years, but what I do tell you this: being a pastor, as well as counseling so many Christians, counseling married couples, counseling singles, counseling people that are professionals looking to get married. Like, how do you marry at a high capacity? How do you date at a high capacity when you are an influencer or you're a high earning individual and you want to marry or date someone? How do you date at that capacity? How do you date people without having to feel like you're going to be used because of the amount of income you make or because of your status or who you are and who you know? All of these things are important to understand, and we've been counseling people in these type of situations for years. So I'm coming to you with over 17, almost 20 years of experience in counseling people and helping people through certain pitfalls in their life. And I want to tell you before I get started that if you need counseling, marital counseling, if you need counseling regarding the fact that you're dating someone and you need help in regards to that, we will be more than happy to assist you in determining whether this is a God thing, using obviously the prophetic. We're going to seek God concerning your behalf, but also if you're married and you're needing help or wisdom on how to navigate certain difficult seasons, we are here to help you with that as well. And so we are available. You just need to reach out. You cannot get free if you don't reach out. All right. Okay. So I want to get into rules to relationships, and these rules are in no order. They're no specific order. So I want you to write them down as I give them to you. And I believe they're going to help your life, okay? One of the things that I wrote also before I get started, I wrote something about this would keep you from marrying a demon. And oftentimes what I found out is that people go through the usual routine of getting to know someone by asking the vague questions, the shallow questions. You know, how old are you? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food to eat? Where do you like to go out to eat? Do you like to travel? Do you like to stay in the house? What's your favorite movies? All of those are okay, but those are not the questions that you ask when you're trying to seek purpose, when you're trying to marry someone for a purpose, when you're trying to develop a relationship with someone based on purpose. Those are not the questions you ask. Those are the things you can learn to love about them later. But the questions you need to ask in this season has to deal with their soul, has to deal with the trauma and the triggers, the letdown, the setbacks. It has to deal with the fact that if they overcome the things within their soul that can stifle and stop you from fulfilling your assignment 10 years from now. You need to ask the questions that's going to show up 10 years from now. I need to ask you questions today that I may regret 5 years later. Because what you don't want to ask them something or neglect to ask them something today that you're going to end up neglecting 5 years from now because you did not have the wisdom to be able to discern the hiss behind that hey sis. And so that's what I want to do. And this is in no specific order. Okay. But I need you to write this down. Number one, marriage is the union of two stories merging into one destiny. Okay. Marriage is the union of two stories merging into one destiny. You must understand this. And why is it important to understand this? Because you're having two stories merging together. These are two backgrounds, two idiosyncrasies, two ideologies, two different styles of parenting, two different styles of managing money, two different styles of engaging the opposite sex, two different styles of decorating, two different styles of living. And so you must understand that marriage is a merging. It is a union of two stories coming into one destiny. And what we don't want to happen is we don't want to have a head-on collision because you didn't know how to merge correctly. We don't want to have any accidents because you didn't know how to merge correctly. We don't need to call Allstate because you didn't know how to merge correctly, because you have to merge correctly into the person's life you're looking to partner with, so that way you can have a healthy, vibrant marriage, a healthy, vibrant union, a healthy, vibrant relationship. Okay. Number two, write this down. Marriage is not a cure for perversion. Before you get into a relationship with anyone, talking about marrying them, you need to be free from any toxic trait of lust and perversion. You should not be getting in any relationship to cure the burning in your loins. Baby, you need to get free from that. You need to get free from that before you connect with anyone, okay? Marriage is not a cure for perversion. You need to be free from perversion before you seek a partner. You should not be dating anyone or be showing interest in anyone until you get free from the lust that's in you. You want to know why? Because if you don't get free from this perversion today, you'll be encountering perversion in your future. Because for some odd reason, single people like to try to talk to married people. And if you don't deal with that perversion in you right now, you're going to fall victim to lust 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That's going to bring a detriment to your relationship. So you need to get free. Number three, marriage is not a weapon against loneliness or an identity crisis. Okay? Marriage is not a weapon against loneliness or an identity crisis. In other words, watch this now. If you have an issue with understanding who you are, you should not be engaging with anyone else. You need to figure out who you are. Who are you? Who is this woman staring back at you in the mirror? Who is this man staring back at you in the mirror? Do you know him? Do you know her? Do you love that person staring back at you in the mirror? Are you attracted to you? Are you attracted to you? Do you actually like you? I can't tell you how many times we've counseled people who actually don't like themselves, and that's the reason why they don't love their spouse correctly. Because you cannot love anyone else if you don't know how to love yourself. The first thing you must do is fall in love with you. You have to fall in love with yourself. Because if you don't love you and you won't treat you right, you'll never treat the other individual right. Okay? You'll never treat right what you don't care about. Okay? And listen to me. This is still number 3. Don't make them suffer while you figure this out. Do that before you make them vows. Don't make this person suffer while you're trying to figure yourself out. You should be on a journey right now, figuring out who is this person called whatever your last name is or whatever your first name is. Who is this person? What do I like? What do I don't like? How do I want to be treated? How do I want to treat others? What is it about me that gets me upset? What is it about me that causes me to be depressed? What is it? What are those things that cause me to withdraw from affection? What are those things that cause me to lean into affection? What are those things that causes me to withdraw my communication? What are those things that causes me to lean into communication? What are those things that causes me to not be curious about my partner's concerns, my spouse's concerns? What are those things that causes me to lack curiosity? What are those things that I love about me? What are those things that I do not like about me? You need to figure this out, because if you don't figure this out now, you're going to cause this person you're going to say I do to suffer while you're trying to figure out yourself. Okay, watch this. All right, this is just we just walking. I'm about to go deeper in a moment. Give me a second. Watch this now. Number 4, marriage is not God's remedy for childhood trauma. Marriage is not God's remedy for childhood trauma. Don't make them suffer through that. Go get a psychiatrist or a therapist and get healed from your trauma. What your mama did to you and what she did not do for you. Well, how your daddy treated you and how your daddy did not love you. What you did not get to own as a child, now you want to make up for in your 40s because you did not get the nice car that all the little kids were riding around in the suburbs with their little motorized car. Now all of a sudden when you're 40, you want to go get a sports car and act a fool. Baby, deal with your trauma, because if you don't deal with your trauma now, somebody's going to end up dealing with your trauma later, and it's going to end up in a divorce or some form of breakdown in communication, some form of breakdown in your relationship, because marriage is not, watch this now, a remedy for childhood trauma. Stop making people suffer through your lack of healing. Get healed and get whole before you say I do. Number 5, talking to the single people. Wait on God's choice. Listen to me, singles. Wait on God's choice before you rush into a lifelong headache. Because what's happening is some of you are rushing into a marriage, and you're marrying into a lifelong headache. You're marrying into a lifelong migraine. Okay? You need to wait on God's choice. Right? I'm not saying that you don't need to get out and get to know people. What I'm saying is that you should not make a commitment to anyone until you know this is what God desires for you to do with this person, because you might be marrying a migraine. And there are many people who are married that are committed to a 20-year-old migraine. I mean, my God, they're suffering weekly, suffering monthly, suffering on a regular basis because and listen to me, Advil ain't curing this. Tylenol can't help you with this. There's no ibuprofen in the world that's going to help you overcome this lifelong migraine that you called your spouse. You better wait on God's choice, because if you don't, you'll be around here on somebody's couch crying real tears, suffering real pain, because you rushed into something because you wanted to have sex more than you wanted to be whole, right? You wanted sex more than you wanted sobriety. And so we need to be sober in our selection. Write that down. You need to be sober in your selection. I'll say it again. You must be sober in your selection, because if you lack sobriety, you'll end up marrying something or connecting to something that will destroy you. You need sobriety. You need to be sober in your selection. Number 5, marriage is not a cure for toxic behaviors. Listen to me. Listen, marriage is not a cure for toxic behaviors, because what's going to end up happening, you're going to eventually break the person you should be bonding with. Instead of bonding and building, you're going to break them. So deal with your toxic behavior. What is your toxic trait? Do you know what your toxic trait is? You need to be discovering what your toxic trait is right now. You need to discover your toxic trait, because if you don't discover your toxic trait, instead of building with them, you're going to break them. Instead of bonding with them, you're going to break them. I don't want you breaking or destroying what you should be bonding and building with. What's your toxic trait? Number 7. Listen to me. This is important. Number 7. You need to only date those that have the ability to push your yes into actualization. You need to only date and marry people or marry a person that has the ability to push your yes to God into actualization. If your yes lulls and stagnates, that is a demon. I'll repeat this. Number 7. You need to only date those that have the ability to push your yes to God into actualization. If your yes lulls and stagnates, then that is a demon. The person that you are considering courting, the person that you're considering marrying, are they pushing your yes to God into fulfillment? Are they helping you actualize this plan and purpose that God had intended for your life? Listen, we want purpose partners, okay? We want purpose partners, not perversion partners, because perversion is the alteration of the intended use of a thing. I will repeat. We want purpose partners, not perversion partners. Perversion is the alteration of the intended use of a thing. When you are in partnership with someone, a relationship with someone, and they are perverting God's usage for your life by altering his intended use for your life, then you are connected to a demon that was sent from hell to stagnate your yes and dull your senses. Did you hear what I just said? You're with someone that is intended to stagnate your yes and dull your senses. This is a demon. This is someone who is intentionally hired by Satan to destroy your credibility, to destroy your capacity, to destroy your proximity, to remove your posture from the place of intimacy and the fear of the Lord. This is an individual that is destructive to your destiny. You need to run, because if being connected to you, I lose my fire and momentum for holiness, if I lose my fire and momentum for righteousness, then ultimately you've been sent by Satan to stop me, and I need to cut this off at the root, and I need to remove you from my life and set healthy boundaries, because this thing right here is not going to take me out. Amen, somebody. Say amen to that. Okay. Number 8, write this down. Just because, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, just because they're physically attractive doesn't make them spiritually compatible. Just because they are physically attractive does not make them spiritually compatible, because there are a lot of, listen to me, there are a lot of sexy demons out here. There are a lot of sexy demons walking around in these Facebook streets. There are a lot of sexy demons in the church. There's a lot of sexy demons behind them pulpits. There's a lot of sexy demons in your neighborhood. There's a lot of sexy demons in Target and Walmart. And just because they are physically attractive does not make them spiritually compatible. Don't you marry a sexy devil. Come on. Come on. All right. Number 9, write this down. You attract what you're not delivered from. Write this down. You will attract what you are not delivered from. Okay? You will attract what you are not delivered from. You want to know why you keep attracting the people you attract? You ain't been delivered from that. There's something in you that's connected to something in them. And it's drawing them towards you. This is why you keep attracting the same type of man, the same type of woman, the same type of Christian, the same type of leader. It's something in you that's attracting everything in them, and it's the thing you hate. That's why you need to get delivered. You need deliverance, because you're worth a lifetime commitment, not a 1-hour encounter. You're worth a lifetime commitment, not a 1-hour encounter. Number 10. Your life will suffer greatly if you marry outside of your purpose. You must be equally yoked. Your life will suffer greatly if you marry outside of your purpose. Okay? Your life will suffer greatly if you marry outside of your purpose. Baby, this ain't even about love. This is about purpose. This is about me fulfilling this thing God called me to. And I want to know, can you help me do it? Now, if you're already married, then you need to work this thing out. But if you're unmarried and you're looking to be married, you need to marry according to purpose, not according to passion, according to purpose. And there are many people who are marrying based on passion, and they're not fulfilling purpose, and they're mad. They're upset because they married someone that was outside of their purpose because they were so full of passion. I love the fact that you two have passion. I love the fact that you can't stop seeing each other. I love the fact that you can't stop being around each other. But guess what? When it comes to fulfilling your calling, you can't stand one another. Because when it comes to fulfilling your purpose, you're incompatible. When it comes to fulfilling your purpose, you don't see eye to eye. You have all this passion, but you can't feel purpose. And now you're mad and you're trying to look for a way out of the relationship. What you need to do is you need to discover how to push through this moment and continue to do what God called you to do and help this individual become the thing that they determined before you met them. Oh, this is good. Is this good to anyone? Am I helping anyone? Number 11. Number 11. You open yourself up for purpose mismanagement and emotional destruction when you make an internal decision to love what can't match your yes to God. I'll say it again. You open yourself up for purpose mismanagement and emotional destruction when you make an internal decision to love what can't match your yes to God. That is so good. Oh, that's so good. I just blessed myself. My God, I just blessed myself. Oh, Jesus, I'm going to have to put this on the screen because I just blessed myself. I just blessed myself. Let me just put this up. Let me just put this up on the screen. Let me repeat. You open yourself up. Listen, you open yourself up for purpose mismanagement and emotional destruction when you make an internal decision to love what can't match your yes to God. Baby, you're self-sabotaging your life. When you love something or someone that cannot match your yes to God, you are self-sabotaging. Okay? This is self-sabotage. You are setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for frustration. You're setting yourself up for destruction. This is purpose mismanagement. You're mismanaging your purpose when you do this. And God is after fruit. But how can you bear fruit when you're married to a donkey? How can you bear fruit when you're married to something that won't move? How can you bear fruit when you're married to a person that won't plow? How can you bear fruit when you're married to a person that won't plant? How can you bear fruit when you're married to a person that won't water? How can you bear fruit when you're married to a person that won't work? This is purpose mismanagement. This is destructive. This is, watch this now. This is the plot of Satan for every believer to connect you to something that won't move, a donkey. You open yourself up for purpose mismanagement and emotional destruction when you make an internal decision to love what cannot match your yes to God. It is emotional destruction. In other words, now you're crying, now you're frustrated, now you're stressed, now you're angry, now you're bitter. All of a sudden, resentment has grabbed a hold of your heart. Now you're resenting the person you should be loving and doing life with, all because you could not wait, all because you mismanage your purpose. Number 12, write this down. Be willing to struggle with them, but don't struggle because of them. Did you hear what I just said? Be willing to struggle with them, but do not struggle because of them. Oh, that's good right there. Oh, that's a whole word right there. I said, be willing to struggle with them, but do not struggle because of them. I'll struggle with you, but I'm not going to struggle because of you. I will struggle with you, but I'm not going to struggle because of you. Okay? And this is what you must do. You must be willing to struggle with them, but do not struggle because of them. Okay? And listen, we will grow through the end. We'll go through whatever we need to go through together because I understand certain things take time to develop. Some people won't make $1 million in their first 2-3 years of marriage. It may take you 10, 15 years of marriage to make $1 million. It may take you 10 years to own all of this real estate that you and your spouse are planning on owning. It may take you 10 years to have a child. It may take you 10 years to accomplish some of the goals that you have together. It may take you 20 years to accomplish those goals. That is fine. I'm willing to struggle with you. But what I will not do is struggle because of you. Because I will not allow you to be the reason why I go through hell. I'm willing to go through hell with you because you're willing to work. We're willing to do this together. But if you are the one spending all the money, if you are the one not paying all the bills, if you're the one introducing foolishness into our relationship, then you are the one that needs to go. If you're the one introducing toxic behavior that you keep becoming defensive about when I tell you that you're doing it, then you need to go. If you're the one becoming defensive anytime or every time we confront an issue and you're not willing to check yourself or admit or apologize for becoming defensive, then you are toxic and you are the one destroying our relationship. I will not struggle with you. I mean, I will struggle with you, but I will not struggle because of you. In Jesus' name. Somebody say, in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. All right, this is something else you must understand. Something else you must understand. Toxic people hate boundaries. Toxic people, when you're dating someone and you start setting boundaries for your life and they start disrespecting your boundaries, they're toxic. Toxic people hate boundaries. Any form of order feels like a personal attack against them. Toxic people hate the fact that you have a boundary for your phone. You have a boundary between what time you can call me and what time you can't call me. You have a boundary between what time you need to get in the house because the lights on. The street lights done came on, so I need to get home. You have a boundary on how and when you want to engage with them in any form of conversation. You have a boundary about the fact that you can't come into my house after this date is over. You have a boundary about the fact you want coffee, let's go to Starbucks, but you can't come in here after this date is over. You have boundaries for your life. You have a boundary that I'm not holding your hand. I don't care what nobody got to say. I'm not holding your hand and I'm not kissing you because we're not married. You have boundaries. And so toxic people hate boundaries. Any form of order feels like a personal attack against them. They hate this. They hate it. They hate it. They hate the fact you have boundaries for your life. And anytime you put up a boundary, they feel like you're attacking them. This ain't about you. This is about the fact that I want to be free. This ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm managing my sexuality. I know for a fact I am a spirit having a human experience, and the human part of me wants to engage in intercourse. The human part of me wants to have a juicy kiss. The human part of me wants to hold hands. Stop playing. We grown. The human part of me loves to see you in that tight maxi dress. The human part of me loves you in those in that suit and tie. The human part of me loves to smell you in Baccarat. I'm talking. The human part of me loves to smell you with that angel perfume. But what I won't do is allow the human part of me to influence what I know to be true concerning the spiritual part of me. And that is, if I open up this door, there is no going back. And so because of that, I'm setting up boundaries for my soul because I know my weakness. I know my strengths. And I'm not going to let you convince me into opening up a door that I'm going to ultimately be mad about later. This is a rule, and you must know this. Hello, somebody. You better know this. No. I don't care how much Baccarat you put on. I don't care. I don't care how much Angel and Prada and all the other stuff you wear. I don't care. I don't care nothing about your dress, nothing about your skirt. I don't care nothing about your suit or your tie, sir. I don't care if your edge is so tight you can cut cake with it. You can put your head on a piece of Publix cake and cut it because your edge is so sharp. I do not care. I don't care. I'm not allowing you to get me into a place where I lose my morality before God. I'm setting boundaries around my soul. Number 14. Watch this now. Here's another one. You ready for this? Number 14. Pay attention when people react with anger and hostility to your boundaries. You have found the edge where their respect for you ends. Oh, did you hear what I just said? Pay attention when people react with anger and hostility to your boundaries. You have found the edge where their respect for you ends. It is at this point they have lost respect for you. The moment they begin to get angry and show hostility for the boundaries you set, is the point where you realize they've lost your respect. They don't respect you any longer. Because if you respected me, you'll respect the fact that I'm trying to keep me whole. You'll respect the fact that I'm trying to keep me saved. You'll respect the fact that I love me enough to set this boundary in place. And the fact that you're angry at my boundary is an indication you don't love yourself. And you'll do anything with yourself. You'll take yourself anywhere. You'll let yourself be overcome by anything. And because you don't love yourself enough to have a boundary likened unto mine, it's an indication we can no longer be in relationship, because your lack of self-control, hallelujah, is upset about my boundaries, and therefore we are incompatible because we don't see eye to eye. And how can two walk together except they be agreed? It's a red flag. It's a red flag. It is a clear red flag. It's a clear red flag. Again, I say, pay attention when people react with anger and hostility to your boundaries. You have found the edge where their respect for you ends. Pay attention to that. Okay? All right. All right. Number 15. Number 15. This is what I want you to understand. Number 15. Healing has taught me that healing taught me that honesty wouldn't ruin a real thing. This is what healing taught me. I want you to be taught by healing. All right. Healing will not ruin, honesty will not ruin a real thing. Healing has taught me that honesty will not ruin a real thing. Speaking about your feelings won't lose you anything worth having. Setting boundaries won't scare off the right people. And authenticity won't cost you genuine relationships. This is what I learned. This is what I learned. I'm going to put that in this. Put this in the, okay, there we go. Healing taught me that honesty wouldn't ruin a real thing. Speaking about your feelings won't lose you anything worth having. Setting boundaries won't scare off proper people, and authenticity won't cost you genuine relationships. It will cost you nothing to be your authentic self. I would rather know what I'm dealing with and who I'm dealing with than to deal with a witch to deal with a witch that's pretending to be my friend. I would rather know up front what I'm faced with instead of pretending to be something you're not. Number 16. Remember the next time you feel really bad because someone pulled away from you for respecting yourself, sharing your feelings, setting boundaries, or holding them accountable, realize that is not your person. Listen to me. The next time, all right, the next time someone makes you feel bad for setting boundaries, loving yourself, having a standard, or anything like that, that is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is not to manage the response of people for the boundaries you set for your soul. It is not your responsibility to manage their emotions. It is not your responsibility to manage their response to your boundaries. Their response is their responsibility. Your response is your responsibility. It is not up to you to make other people feel good about the fact that you love yourself. I love me enough to do this. And if you don't love you enough to do it, then that's your decision. But you won't make this decision in my presence. You're going to make this decision at your house away from me with a block number, because ain't nowhere in the world we're going to continue to converse on this level when you don't understand the necessity of maintaining your deliverance or your soul. I've been through too much hell to get here and let you destroy it because of your nature. The devil is a liar. All right, let's wrap this up. I want to give you 3 questions you must ask yourself. I'm going to wrap this up. 3 questions you must ask yourself. Number 1, the first question you must ask yourself is, am I fine with difference? Before you get married and before you get in a relationship and start dating someone, ask yourself this. Number 1, am I fine with difference? Am I okay with difference? Right? Why is this important? It's important because if you're not, you will fall into the trap of compatibility. Okay? Compatibility is a trap. And I don't want you to fall into the trap of compatibility. You have to be okay with difference. Why is this important? It's because sameness is not oneness. Just because we're the same doesn't mean we have the capability of becoming one. All right. Many of you date who you think you're compatible with because y'all like the same thing, but you don't have a value for difference. But you don't have a value or a taste for difference. Difference is what keeps the sparks alive when sameness can dull it. Lastly, your lack of respect for difference will have you trying to change a person instead of loving them for who they are and growing with them as they change instead of changing them before y'all even grow together. So you need to value difference. You need to love difference. You have to be okay with somebody being different from you. They don't have to like the same thing you like for you to create unity. They don't have to like this. They don't have to like the same stuff you do. But you got to ask yourself, am I fine with difference? Number two, am I easily angered? Ask yourself that. Why are you so angry? Why do you get angry so quick? What's up with this attitude? Why you always have attitude about any and everything? Why are you angry? Ask yourself, number two, am I easily angered? Ask yourself and the person you're with this question. You need to know what triggers you and them. Do we have to be concerned about you becoming violent when you get angry? How do you handle stress? Do you retreat? Do you cheat? Do you drink? Do you smoke? Do you turn into a hoe? How do you handle issues? Listen, whenever there's a problem, can you reason like an adult or do you throw a fit like a child? We need to know this. These are questions you need to ask. You need to know, right? Because if you don't know these things, when issues arise, their response might shock you. And if you knew it ahead of time, you wouldn't be so shocked by their response of not understanding how to handle on difficult conversations. I said turn into a hoe. We need to know, will you be a hoe when you get mad? Okay? Will you be a hoe when you get mad? Oh, okay. If we're not intimate for 3 days or for a week, for whatever reason, you gonna turn into a side dude, a side chick? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? If you don't get nothing for a whole 3 days, are you gonna turn into a hoe? What's up? We need to know. Do you get mad? Do you slap when you get mad? What do you do? What those hands do when you get angry? We need to know, what do those hands do when you get angry? Do you slap people when you get angry? Do you punch when you get angry? Do you kick when you get angry? Are you a biter? We need to know. Hello. Do you cuss people out when you get angry? We need to know this stuff. We need to know what triggers you. Because if we don't know what triggers you, we're in for a traumatic experience. Because one day you may be triggered by something and do something that ultimately destroys us. And we need to know this up front. This is why you need deliverance. This is why you need to go to deliverance on a regular basis. Every 6 months to a year, you may need to go through some type of deliverance because we're all dealing with some type of trauma on a regular basis. We all have traumatic experiences happen to all of us on a constant basis. And so we need to know these things. We need to know. Okay? All right. Number 3. Am I bothered by people expressing their opinions? Ask yourself, ask your partner, are you bothered by people expressing their opinions? Listen, you got to understand, you are dating and married to a person that has an established opinion about everything. The person you're dating and the person you're married to, they already have an established opinion about everything in life. Okay, like you may be able to change their opinion about something based on perspectives, based on background, based on being cultured or not, based on being traveled or not. There's certain things that you may be able to change their opinion based on certain information. But you must understand, though, they have an established opinion already. And it doesn't mean that their opinion is a correct one. However, you have to be okay with it being expressed without it bothering you. Why does their opinion bother you so bad? I mean, are you that controlling? Are you narcissistic? Why does their opinion bother you that bad? Come on now. You have to be okay with people expressing their opinion. Okay? Listen, if it's bothering you, ask yourself why. why am I so bothered when my husband, my wife, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my potential spouse expresses their opinion? Why am I bothered this much? Listen, your emotions are yours to maintain. Your emotions are yours to maintain. And you can't blame their opinion as to why your disposition is always unstable. You cannot blame their opinion as to why your disposition is always unstable. It is not their fault that you have an unstable disposition anytime they convey their opinion about a matter. That is a need for therapy. That is a need for introspection. That is a need for counseling. Your emotions are yours to maintain, and your instability and your disposition is an indication of the holes in your soul. Your disposition is an indication of the issues in your heart. Baby, you need help, and it's okay to admit it. In conclusion, I want to say this. In conclusion, you will have a hard time in any relationship if you don't appreciate difference, easily angered, and despise other people expressing their opinions. If this is the case, marriage is not for you. If this is the case, beloved, you ought not to get married. You ought to stay single. You ought to ought to enjoy your life and stay single. I hope that what I taught today blessed you. I hope that what I taught today helped you in any way. If you were blessed by anything I said, feel free to sow a seed into our ministry. All of your seeds and donations help us to continue to do the thing that God called us to do. We greatly appreciate your prayers as well as your financial support. Also, starting next week, I'm doing a free prophetic training for 3 days called Prophetic Advantage. You can sign up for that by going to godsfirebrands.com/prophetic advantage, or you can just go to our website, godsfirebrands.com, and you can look for the tab that says Prophetic Advantage and sign up for that 3-day free prophetic training. It's going to be awesome. We have hundreds of people from all around the world signing up for this, and it's going to be amazing for 3 straight days. Also, don't forget, we're also having Firebrands Atlanta starting May 17th, that Friday night. Free gathering. I want you to come and be a part of that. We are looking forward to growing with you and all that God has called you to do. If you are looking for some type of training, coaching, life coaching, marital coaching, if you're looking for any form of coaching, whether it may be business coaching, life coaching, or marital coaching, we have coaching services available for all of those who are interested. Go ahead and shoot me an inbox or a DM. If you're dating someone and you're looking to get married and you and your spouse or you and your partner desire deliverance before you get married, inbox us. We'd love to take you through deliverance and help you break free from the thing that's holding you captive. If you're a married couple and you need deliverance in your marriage, we would love to help you in getting deliverance for your marriage. Inbox us or email us at info@godsfirebrands.com, and we will help you in getting deliverance for your marriage or for your relationship. Also, if you need coaching in any capacity, we would love to help you in that. Inbox us or email us at info@godsfirebrands.com. We're happy to assist you. We love you so much. I pray you were blessed. Enjoy your day. God bless you.